try out the drawing that you did. I'll have the light on, I'll have the battery. You can tell me what to do.
It's up to each end of the battery.
But before we attach it, I want to know whether you think it's going to work or not.
No.
It's not.
No.
And why do you think it's not going to work?
I think you need the, oops, I think you need the pieces to carry the charge. I don't think it'll work just connecting the wires to the light bulb.
If it did work, then what would you think?
I fall off my chair.
Okay, all right, let's see that.
Oh my god. Oh, it worked. I don't know, I guess you don't need the little pieces. That's probably just to hold it in.
Our optimism about what children ought to be.
Okay, so you learn how to light a bulb with a wire and a battery. Who didn't do it? You want to try again? There you go. Still not working? Oh, probably. Right. So I have a question. Would this activity be different if I just taught you the way of lighting a bulb and then tell you, oh, you can do it whenever you want? And I can come with the best physics explanation here and give you all sort of diagrams, but not using your hands. Just me talking here, filling out the board in how to light a bulb. Do you think it makes a difference than just giving you this and trying it by yourself? Does it make a difference? So, what are some take-home messages that you learned from the video? What did you learn from the video that we just saw? Yes.
I like the part that says not only hands on the experience, but heads on it.
Heads on it. Why do you think it says heads on it?
Because you need to understand the concept of what you are doing.
So you're saying that you need to have prior knowledge. You have some sort of prior knowledge.
Yes.
Good or wrong, it's a prior knowledge
Yeah.
that affects your outcome.
I think so.
Okay. Yes.
It's not just to know the fact that if I assemble the battery bulb and wire in this way, it turns on, which someone could walk away from the experiment and think that, but really the heads-on is understanding why putting in that orientation works.
Right. Right. Understanding like the nature of why things work. Someone else? Yes. Say that again. Yeah. What's your takeaway about that? Right. So I'm curious, do you felt some curiosity on the question regarding the mirror and the size of the mirror? Do you believe that? Do you think that's real? Do you still have doubts? You want to see it? Okay. So I found this video in the internet. Ah. So he's using a kind of a 15-inch, I think it's bigger, like 30-inch by 30-inch mirror, and he's using his cell phone. And he, if you notice, he put some marks in his head, like the size of his head. Let's put it on second 00. Like where his hands are to his head. You see the black marks? He draw them on the mirror. So see how that changes. He's gonna just step back. Still the same size. So some of you will accept that reality, or some of you will still doubt. And what you will do is you're going to try it out in your bathroom mirror today. Yes?
I mean, it makes sense, because people think if you're like in a full-length mirror and you're looking at yourself, the reason why that does is so you can focus on your entire body, because if you're close, then you're really only focusing on your eyes.
Yes.
But the mirror still has something in there.
Yeah, it's just, yes.
I noticed that, like if you look at it perfectly straight on, like the amount that you can see of him doesn't change. However, just at the very beginning and the very end, when he gets closer and the camera breaks the line of that tiny little lens that he has it on, like the heart, you can see more of his wrist. So it has to do with like the angle of the reflection.
Right. So the thing with the effect that the mirror causes is that everything is becoming smaller, and obviously there's an angle that it's getting wider, but it's a visual, it's a trick playing your mind that you're watching more because you're shrinking, and it's not that you're shrinking, it's that it's opening the angle so you can see more, but actually it's your same size. Obviously you see yourself smaller because of the distance. But it's not that the mirror has shrunk your image. It's your perception with your eyes that you see yourself smaller. So that's and obviously you don't think on it until you reflect like now, but before that you had the doubt. So learning is generative and revisionary process. It generates because you will accept the reality based on your lens, and you will transform it in your own way. Your mind will reconcile the way you learn things. So the evidence, you will see in the evidence what you want to see, what you said, believing is seeing. And it's revisionary because I put it into test right now with a mirror example. Something doesn't make sense here, so I need to check it out. Or you accept it and you generate the new knowledge based on what I said, or you're going to question me and you will revise it based on your own methods with your own evidence to see if you change the process of learning. So based on this quote, we have two basic tenets in the way we learn. Number one, human beings come to learning experiences with prior knowledge, skills, beliefs, and concepts that significantly influence what and how they learn. What does this mean? Well, you have your own lens of learning with things. This lens involves your knowledge, your prior knowledge. It involves your skills, your beliefs about things, and the concepts that you manage. And that's how you view things. It's through that lens. So obviously, if you put blue sunglasses or glasses and you start watching everything, you're going to see it blue. And people will question you like, things are not blue, but you're just watching them blue because that's your lens. So that's the prior knowledge. And you need to take in consideration this aspect when you're teaching something, maybe as a teacher or as an engineering teaching your clients about something, an artifact or a process or something that you want to pass on to someone else, you need to take in consideration what the learner knows and what is the learner's lens. And how do you do that? Well, there's a really good deal of evidence that the way you enhance learning is by paying attention on what the learner knows, or what does the learner knows about something. So this involves what do you know about this thing, or what is your opinion about this? So it is always important to talk to the learner or the end user. It's vital if you want to merge yourself in a learning experience. It's vital to ask questions to the learners or to the end users you want to teach something. Okay, it's vital if you want to make a learning experience significant. The second tenet is that an essential part of the learning process is the learner expending mental energy. What does this mean? Well, people generate their own knowledge, as I said before. And this means that the process or the design in which you're going to teach something or you're going to pass on something depends on how and what activities you're going to design for him to learn. You can be here in front of an expert talking about something, and he could talk about this thing for hours and hours, and he will request you, hey, you need to pay attention. Please pay attention here. You're going to learn if you pay attention. Just pay attention. And do you think the learners are going to learn the way the expert is expecting to learn? It's not going to happen. And it's because of this, because of that aspect, because of the own lens that all learners have. So you need to take in consideration what is the lens of the learner. So just to finalize, so how do we plan this? How do we plan to enhance learning experiences when we do something and when we're teaching or passing on about something? Well, there's 3 questions you need to do. First, what do I want the learners to know? You need to have like a learning outcome. What is it that you want to pass on to someone? What do you want to teach to someone? How you want to teach it? What do you want to teach? So this is like a learning outcome. I want to teach how to light a bulb with a wire and a battery. That could be a learning outcome. Second question is, how will I know that the learners know what I want them to know? Kind of like a tongue twister. So in this case, the activity that we did, how did I know if you know what I want you to know? What did I do? In the activity we did at the beginning. Right. If the light bulb lights, then obviously, he knows what he's doing. Or I could ask a question like, how do you do it? And then you come with an explanation, and it brings me up with a way of saying, oh, yeah, he knows. So what will be the figure of how do we know that the learner know what he needs to know? Will be in a sort of an assessment, right? And an assessment comes in different ways. This is a way of assessing if things work. Or you can test with an end user, hey, try this software or try this artifact that I do. And if you see that there's a good performance in the way he do it, then you understand that he is knowing what you want him to learn. But if you don't do this, then there's no way, right? And the third way is, what will the learners do to learn what I want them to know? And this involves activities. What activities are you going to promote to achieve your learning outcome? Like how you're going to come with activities to, like, at the beginning of this lecture, I was like, okay, I want them to learn how to light a bulb with a wire and a battery. So what should I do? I can use my own creativity to come up with different ways. I could have taught you principles about Ohm's law and Kirchhoff's law for complex circuits, and solve several circuits using matrices and equations, and come up with ways of establishing theoretically how to light a bulb and explaining you the principle of a circuit, and then, okay, just, you know now. Or I could come with a hands-on activity, bring a battery, a wire, and bulb and let you try it and see if you can come up with the solution for it. So everything depends on the prior knowledge. So you need to know what is the lens of the learner, okay? So this is some of the resources I use, National Research Council, How Students Learn. There is a QR code if you want to download the book, the PDF. And do you have any questions? No? Yes?
Students not learning, what other steps could you take?
Well, that's a really good question. Remember the prior knowledge. You need to ask him what he knows. And based on that, you're going to build up activities so you can scaffold them. Like, oh, you don't know what a circuit is, so you can start with a circuit. If someone else knows what a circuit is, then you don't need to review with this person what a circuit is. You can just, okay, build one circuit. But it depends on like why you want to learn this, and like how can you ask this person like what he knows, and that can help you build up a really efficient learning experience for him. Yes.
So you were talking about asking for that prior knowledge. If you're designing some kind of an educational model and you don't necessarily have access to the specific people who will use it, who all potentially have different assumptions, would that be a process of just kind of asking lots of people until you can gauge some general background knowledge, or how would you go about that?
That is a good question. You can start like exploratory. Like you can come up with a solution, but it is very important to test it and measure based on the experience of people, and not just bring the solution and here it is, use it. It's very important to understand the experience of people interacting with it. For instance, just a quick example, in India they built up this huge plant to process clean water for people. And usually the people were going to a river where the quality of water was not pure. But they built up this plant to come up with a solution for these people, but they were not using it. And the reason was one of the policies of the water company was you needed to carry out like a 5-gallon container with water. And obviously the people that collected the water were ladies, the home ladies, and they cannot carry those containers. So they would prefer just to have not clean water with a gallon that can be carried on, and they just pick it in the water. And that was the reason. They come up with this solution for the people, but they didn't test it afterwards. And pretty much the solution wasn't working because they didn't actually ask the people if they were using it. So that is a good way of learning about your learners. Yeah. Any other question? No? All right, so thank you very much for paying attention, and hope that you can apply this for your future projects and experiences. Yes, here it is.